It's important.
Yeah, it's good that I didn't say it anyway. So
You can message it. But anyways, no, I'm all anxious to hear what it is.
nothing groundbreaking.
I'm sure it is something super groundbreaking, which means that always means it is groundbreaking. But anyways, always groundbreaking here at Pick Dogs. Monday, August 1st, first day of August, Christmas in July. Finito. It was great Christmas in July. August is here, and we have the discount code AUG15, AUG15, get 15% off everything in August. So, it's an interesting little baseball card today. 10 games on the card. And, of course, the day before the trade deadline. So we got to really keep an eye out as to what's going on here. Chris, Deshaun Watson's a sexual predator. What do you think?
Well, the stock in certain massage oils are going up. I'll tell you that much. I've been watching the markets and some of those products today. But I just don't know how the NFL is going to navigate this, because they've said it's being settled in the courts, and then it's not going to have an impact on, it's going to have he's going to get a suspension, but it's not going to be, it's all over the place. And it's hard to keep track of.
But there's two key words here. There's two words that, that we have to keep in mind here. Josh Rosen, that's his backup.
Didn't they bring in someone else?
Yeah, Josh Rosen.
No, he's their third string. They have the former Colts starting quarterback, who's
Carson Wentz.
Lifetime back. No, he was a New England Patriot. Oh man, my name's
Jacoby
so
Brissett.
Yeah, that's their backup
who was on the Dolphins. He won 0 games for them last year.
I'm not saying he's a superstar, but he's a competent backup, I think.
I don't think so.
It could be worse. It could be. There's some worse backups out there.
All right.
Would you rather have Brissett or Rosen, though?
Oh, God. Either way, you're going to lose. I mean, basically, you're signing whatever's cheapest. I guess in that case, it's whatever's cheapest, because you're going to lose with both those guys.
It's only 6 games, though.
Yeah, but, Brissett can move at least. Rosen.
I like the way you move.
I'm definitely going to try to pick up Watson cheap for my fantasy football.
Anyways, Major League Baseball, 10 games today. Trade deadline, just not hearing a lot of going-ons here with names like Ohtani and Soto still out there. Of course, Quintana, a lot of guys set to move. It's going to be an active couple days, or it's going to be a big, big disappointment for a lot of people and a lot of teams. But, yeah, short card today. We saw the Royals take it out on the Yankees yesterday, right?
Yeah, it was a nip and tuck there I was worried the Royals were going to choke it away late like they did the day before. So.
Well, no one knows about choking it away late like you, Brian, do they?
Yesterday was a bad day for me. It was weird. It's Saturday great, Sunday awful.
Yeah, I have not had the great baseball season, but when it comes to my $15 big plays, they have been straight money. Straight money. Once again, yesterday, not a good day, but, I had the Metropolitans there as my best bet and my $15 big play, and, it was over before it even started. Did you see Lindor? You could watch the game. He went over to the guy who, after he crossed the plate, he went over to the guy that was up, and he said something to him. Normally when they do that, so when they go to the on-deck circle, when they talk to the guy who's up next, or they do, they start doing that, that means I saw something. And then all of a sudden the hits just start raining. And you see it from time to time, where a guy will do that and he'll be like, hey, I saw something. And all of a sudden it was raining Mets hits.
Wasn't that like Alcantara last year in L.A.? The Dodgers torched them.
Yep. It was the worst outing of Pablo Lopez's career.
He'll bounce back. I like.
Oh no, he'll bounce back. He'll bounce back big. We know that. We're not concerned about Pablo at all.
I remember looking at that game and was the 4th inning? It was 6-0, and the Mets had 12 hits and the Marlins had 1. he open pitches or something. But
I will take it. Yeah, a lot of winners yesterday. Pick dogs.
Now for me, my $15 play was the Seattle Mariners. They went to extra innings. They came back and tied it up in the 8th, but then they just couldn't get it done in extras. So
it's just tough. It's just tough when you give out your best bet is against a team that's won 70% of their games to begin with, right? So it's like it makes it tough to.
Well, there's other things that go into that, but there's a lot of different moving parts to that.
I understand, but I'm just saying, when a team wins 70-something% of their games, it's tough for your best bet to be the game against it. But anyways,
they had them, but they didn't.
They had them, and then they didn't have them. They had them early.
Normally, you get the momentum of coming back late and tying a ball game.
Well, I'll tell you who felt the curse of the Romanelli yesterday was McClanahan. Whoa, man. Someone opened the can of whoop-ass, didn't they? His ERA, he got hit so hard that even with 20 games under his belt or whatever he had, he got hit so hard that his ERA moved up that he's now like, 0.20 behind Verlander after that. He was like ahead of Verlander. He went all the way back, man. He lost like 0.3 on his ERA. He went from like 1.76 to 2.08 or something, all in one outing. I mean, he got just hammered.
Yeah, I was surprised.
I was not. Those All-Star Game starters, man, they get crushed after the All-Star break. Those All-Star Game starters, they get absolutely destroyed. It is pretty much year after year. They get crushed. Kershaw got beat up too, right? He lost his too. Yeah, it's just the way that it is. It's the way of the world. Look, ask Chris Sale why he's never won the Cy Young. Because he's got 6 All-Star Game starts. It's like
because he gets injured a lot.
Not everyone's Lamar.
Finish the season.
No, that's really not it. It's really not it. It's really not it. Anyways.
Good old Romanelli. He always texts me early in games and tells me I'm in trouble or dead.
Oh, yeah. Romanelli will send you the first inning. He doesn't have it today.
We're done. We're toast. We're finished.
Yeah, we're done. Well, today is an interesting day, though, back to today's schedule. And I just think that what we have, at least for me, is that I see a lot of dogs that I like. And that means also, but I think a lot of people like a lot of dogs today. And that usually means we have a lot of public dogs today. And that is usually not a very good sign for the dog backers here. And I just see a tremendous amount of support for some of these dogs. I mean, for example, right, we've been on the Orioles all season, all of us, right? And it's like here they are, plus 140 something again in Texas against the Rangers. You've got the Giants, who I've, loved and loved and loved. You got Logan Webb at home, as a big dog here against the Dodgers. And the Dodgers swept them last weekend. And this is a series that's gone. One team sweeps one weekend, one team sweeps the next. It's generally the way that series has gone, but just a lot of public support on the Giants. Just a ton. And scary amounts.
Where do you see the Giants support?
It's called where the public is, Brian. Social media.
I agree with you 100%.
Social media, all across social media, all over YouTube, where the public is, not some betting report of like six offshore sports books that nobody uses anymore because betting's legal in the U.S.
It's common sense that people love to bet the Dodgers, and they just saw the Dodgers beat up the Giants. So why wouldn't they be betting the Dodgers?
I don't know, Brian. Why don't you ask them? Why don't you go on social media and ask them?
I'm just saying people like to bet the Dodgers. That's all I'm saying.
All I'm saying is that go on social media and ask them. Why are you asking me? Why are you leaving it to some? Because you're looking at bad information.
No, I'm just using common sense on that game. No. Dodgers and Giants. It's just common sense. And that's why I'm saying you have a public dog here. Is what you have. You have a massive public dog. Orioles, yes. Giants, no. I don't agree with that.
Oh, very big public dog. Anyways,
we're allowed to disagree.
Oh, we can disagree, but it's like, we get our information from different places, and I think that's the
I'm
difference.
not getting my information from anywhere. Just my brain upstairs telling me that people like to bet the Dodgers.
Chris,
the Dodgers have beaten up the Giants.
Chris, when it comes to Brian's brain being the source of information, is that a play or a fake?
It makes more sense that people are betting the Dodgers today heavy. They like it's a light line for LA. But what do I know?
They're begging you to take the Dodgers.
They're begging you to take the Dodgers today, in my opinion.
They're begging you. Chris, got the Marlins and the Reds. Got the Nationals and the Mets. You got $75 million worth of pitcher on the mound in that one. What do you think of those two, Chris?
It's $75 million, but I think I'd rather back at least $43 million of it here with Max Scherzer. I'm going to go with the Mets. I might push this -2.5. Patrick Corbin for the Nationals. You've seen multiple pitchers that have been disasters for the Nationals this season. Corbin, Yohan Adon has been roughed up as well. And I just think the Mets have to take advantage of winnable spots like this to really give themselves the best possible look in September at a division title. So I go with Scherzer here. I think he comes out with a dominant outing and really stifles the Nationals here.
Right.
Well, I'd love to be on the Mets because it looks like the easiest play on the board, but I just don't trust the easiest play on the board. I'll take the over in that game, over 8.5. Patrick Corbin's given up 16 runs over his last 10 2/3 innings pitched. I think he's bad enough to get the over himself here, but I think Max Scherzer gives up two, maybe 3 runs here, so I'm going to take the over 8.5.
I like the over as well. I think Scherzer, he gets hit often early. Early is when he gets hit. And Corbin, he gets hit early. But the thing is, the Nerfy 5-0 in the Nationals' last 5 against the National League East for the Nats. So it's a tough one there. I like the Marlins against the Reds too. I hate the way the Marlins have been playing, but you can't lose them all at home. What have they lost? 13 in a row now at home after yesterday's debacle.
Luzardo's got a ton of talent too.
13 straight, as well as 13. I think it's 13 straight on the run line too.
It's been ugly, that's for sure. We've got the Yankees and the Mariners and the Guardians and the Diamondbacks. Brian, what do you think?
Very tough slot for me as far as free picks go, but I think I'm going to take the Mariners Yankees to go under 9 runs. I think Marco Gonzalez is usually good for 6 or 7. He's going to get hit around a little bit, probably give up around 3 runs. But this Yankees bullpen, I don't think Herman's going to go more than 5, but the Yankees have the second best bullpen area in baseball. I think and Seattle, they struggle to score runs. I think it goes under 9.
And I was looking at the Arizona Diamondbacks here. I know they got swept by the Atlanta Braves, but they really battled hard in Sunday's finale. They just couldn't scratch a run across. And, of course, Mark Melancon did his usual action. He backs money line bettors yesterday, but Zach Davies gets the ball here. He makes his return off the injured list. I just don't think Cal Quantrill's a -165 pitcher.
Since when?
And the Guardians, haven't.
Used to love Quantrill. Used to love Quantrill. It's like Quantrill. That's all we heard from Chris. It's like
maybe it's a +165, but not -165.
It was like Joe Musgrove, Cal Quantrill.
No, it was Joe Musgrove, Sandy Alcantara, then Cal Quantrill. But no,
I think. Then what happened to your Cal? What about your shirt that says "Cal is my homeboy"?
It's stretched out. Others that have faded too. I like Zach Davies. I think he comes strong and helps Diamondbacks get off the schneid here.
I like the Mariners have been terrible in New York recently, but historically they've played really tough against the Yankees. 2-11 in their last 13 in the stadium in the Bronx. Man, makes it a little difficult. And I like the Diamondbacks on the run line here, plus the 1.5 against the Guardians. They've played extremely well in that role, like Chris was saying. Got the Twins and the Tigers and that Rangers-Orioles that we were talking about. Brian?
For me, that group in the games here, I'm gonna take a bite. I'm gonna get tempted into this one. I'll take the Baltimore Orioles, but I'll take the plus 1.5. They're one of the best run line teams in baseball, and Gray's been good, but he gives up a few runs, and I think Watkins, even though he might only last 5 innings, that Orioles bullpen should be able to keep Texas under control. So I think it's a 1-run game. I'll take the plus 1.5 with the Orioles.
I'm going to go just with the Orioles outright here. I think the price is just partly because, Spencer Watkins, being Spencer Watkins and being the pitcher that did have an ERA up around 8 last year, but prior to getting roughed up a little bit in his last start, he'd allowed 1 earned run or less in 5 straight starts. And if this is going to be a 1-run game, that doesn't bode well for the Rangers, who I think are 5-28 in 1-run games this season. They usually lose these close games. I think if that's the case, Baltimore can come in and take it here. So give me the Orioles on the money line.
You don't think the Twins are looking ahead, to Chris Archer pitching tomorrow? I mean, it's
against Matt Manning. I think I've seen Matt Manning starting on.
Yeah, he's back. See, it's like the world is the world is looking at DeGrom, coming back tomorrow, but it's Matt Manning. The Tigers are focused on. Anyways, the Tigers have lost about 160 in a row in Minnesota. I don't think Tarek Skubal provides us with many answers. I'm just going to stay away from that Rangers-Orioles game because I like the Orioles, but it's, once again, super public dog. Not my cup of tea. Chris, what are you selling today at 15% off?
Well, today I got my $15 pick-off play, and yesterday with the Diamondbacks, and hoping to start August the same way. I also got that
Wayfair's got just what
Moonshot
you need.
Major League 3-pack for $40 at Pick Dogs Premium.
And Brian?
For me, I got my best bet, my titanium play, just $15. Make sure you check it out, or get my 3-pack that includes that $15 play. I believe it's called Get Out the Broom 3-pack for Monday. Make sure you check it out, pickdogs.com, premium picks.
15% off using the code AUG15, AUG15. So I got my $15 big play. I have a bunch of other plays too for people that are long-term subscribers. So I might have I have enough to put a 3-pack out there as well. I love today's card. But I would avoid those landmines, because there's a bunch of them. There's a slew of them. Slew of landmines. Anyways. You guys are super talkative today.
Well, for me, I have a problem with my audio in my ear. I'm having to hold this wire together to be able to hear you, so that's why I'm a little bit distracted. So just to let you know.
That's Chris to hold it for you.
It's a pain in the butt. As soon as I get off of here, I'm going to get new wires. So
I don't want to do any of Brian's heavy lifting here. Come on now. I know it does feel a little bit landmine-ish today, and that was a concern, but I still think there's value in spots.
I think it's a hard card today, personally. There was a few games I really loved, but overall it was a hard one for me.
Okay. It's a hard one for Brian.
Well, it's not a card where I'm saying, I want to bet every single game on the board. So some days I have those, so I like every game. I think we got Mitch's favorite pitcher pitching today, Andrew Heaney. That's what it is.
He's learned a new pitch.
Oh, my God. A 0.47 ERA. LA Dodgers.
Bitler's like baiting me into taking the Dodgers here. It's begging me to take him.
Please take him.
Begging me to take him. Humping up on the Giants.
Heaney.
Heaney is a weenie.
Those going to be the new T-shirts.
Probably get sued. Oh, Heaney.
Yeah, probably.
The new T-shirts are going to be "I ran the table" at Sports Chat Place Pick'em contest.
Thank me later.
Thank me later. Taking a pass.
Let me explain to you what it means by taking a pass.
It means I'm too hungover to put a pick in. I don't know. Got the did we do the White Sox and the Royals and the White Sox, Royals, Astros, Red Sox? Chris?
Yeah. I'm looking at the over 7.5 in that Red Sox Astros game. I just think Nathan Eovaldi probably going to be a catalyst for a lot of those runs. I mean, we've seen Eovaldi, he was part of that 28-5 debacle against the Blue Jays, and he's allowed 16 runs since coming off the IL earlier this month. So I think he'll give up a few here. But Luis Garcia also has a worse ERA at home, around 4 than he does on the road. So
which is
I think 7.5.
17 less runs than Eovaldi gives him.
Fair enough, absolutely. But I just think that 7.5 just too low of a total here. So right. The Astros could get to this one on their own. So give me the over 7.5.
Brian?
For me in this time slot, I'm going to take the KC Royals here plus 1.5. The White Sox are playing much better baseball. I believe they're 6-4 last 10, and I think they're going to win that division. But on the run line, they're just 16-35. I think Brad Keller should be good for 6 or 7. Kopech usually goes 5. I see that White Sox bullpen maybe giving up a run or two late. I think the Royals cover.
All right. I think the White Sox beat them down. Chew them up, spit them out. I think it's that time. I think they've waited all season, like Brian said. It's like they haven't been able to cover run lines. So, they've been back-end loaded. Like the Yankees were front-end loaded. I think the White Sox back-end loaded.
They still got La Russa, though.
So. They still have La Russa, which is a problem. But, they're also taking on the A's and now the Royals. So this is their time.
They're not. If they don't do it now, they're never going to do it.
Right. If they don't do it now, they're never going to do it. Got the Padres taking on the Rockies. Mike Clevenger on the mound. It's like, and Giants against the Dodgers. Chris Clevenger's got more tattoos than ever, and somehow he squeezed room and for a couple more. I don't even know where he found that room, but he seemed to have found it. They did an interview with him in the dugout the other night. Yeah, it's like, wait a minute, is that a new tat you got there?
Don't ask questions you don't want answers to. I'll tell you that from where he found the room.
What is that?
Why did you get an upside down octopus? I don't get it.
Really, I mean that's about the size of the thing.
Yeah. No, but speaking of Clevenger, I will take him here against the Rockies. I know the Rockies usually have done well in these underdog spots and providing decent value at plus money. But Senzatella, one of the few pitchers that actually pitches far better at Coors Field, has an ERA up around 7 on the road this season. And Mike Clevenger's just been pretty much consistent throughout. And I expect the Padres, to really start to find themselves at home, make that push towards being in a good spot in September. I think it has to start here. So give me the Padres on the run line. I think they win this one, 5-3, something like that.
Brian taking a pass?
No, well, it's not. No, I'm not going to take a pass here. I'm going to take the under 7.5. Mike Clevenger's under the radar dominant pitcher. I think I'd be surprised if he gives up more than 2 to the Rockies. And Senzatella is not as bad as his numbers indicate. I think he's been pitching better lately. I think he can hold the Padres down. I see a 3-2, 4-3 type of score. So I'll take the under 7.5.
Favorite from my from the betting tools today, Colorado Rockies 10-0 as run line dogs in San Diego. Their last 10. And you look at it, makes total sense because no one on the Padres can hit worth a lick. I mean, these guys, they're going to be the worst hitting team to ever make the playoffs. It's like they're going to get swept. That's what's going to happen. Anyways, some parlays.
You like my under a little bit in that one?
I think it could be under. I think it's going to be a real shitty game.
For my parlay, if I can go first, I'll take that Padres Rockies under. I'm going to take the KC Royals plus 1.5, and the over 8.5 Mets Nationals.
I'm going to go with the Mets minus 1.5. I'll go with the Diamondbacks on the money line, and I'll go with the over 7.5 Astros Red Sox.
I'm going to go with the Rockies plus the 1.5, the Nationals Mets over, and the Royals White Sox over as well. It's Mitch, Chris, and Brian. Thanks for joining us. Make it a winning day. Go back to 15 games tomorrow. Trade deadline is tomorrow, so be sure to keep a good eye on who is playing and who isn't today, especially those starting pitchers, because there's some slated out there that I think could be on the move today and tomorrow. So keep an eye on it and keep your hands to yourself. Make it a winning day. We appreciate each and every one of you.